Hello friends. Today we are going to start the concept of bills of exchange. Okay. Here we are going to discuss what are the stages in bills of exchange, what are the types of problems and how the problems will be coming, and also we are going to discuss the four types of these problems. Okay. Next, we are going to see what is meant by accommodation of bills, how the treatment should be done, and that would be the thing which we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So let's go. Right, let us start now the problems. Let us now start the concept of bills of exchange. Okay, let us see. So first of all, when a bill is drawn, I'm going to write some questions. No, not required. Right, let us see. When bill is drawn, this would be the first question which everyone would be asking. When is bill drawn? When bill is drawn? For which I'm going to take one example, right? Let us see. There are two persons, X and Y, let us suppose, right? X sold goods to Y on credit, let us suppose, by rupees 1 lakh. As we can say this is a huge amount, then what happens? Immediately on credit means X becomes the creditor and Y becomes the debtor. Here the relationship between X and Y would be debtor and creditor relationship has been started. Then what X would be doing, as if Y is known to him, Y is already a friend of him, and if Y is purchasing on a frequent basis, then there is no need of a bill. But if Y is a new customer, then what X would be doing is, this is an treatment of business, right? This is a business technique, we can say. What X would be doing, X would be giving, let us say, first 3 months of date, 3 months of time. Let us say X is giving 3 months time to pay 1 lakh rupees. Let us see this one. So X is giving 3 months to pay 1 lakh rupees, but after 3 months, if amount is exceeding, that means if the time is exceeding, let us suppose X has sold the goods on 1st January 2022, let us suppose. Then after 3 months means what? January completed, February, March. That means at the end of the year we can see, that means everybody will be thinking that this is 1 4 2022. This would be the due date. Due date of that rupees 1 lakh, right? But for this, what happens is, if bill has been accepted or bill has been drawn, then plus 3 days we would be adding. This is only for bill, right? Bill or promissory note, what we can say, no problem. But for check, there is not required. Okay, plus 3 days we would be asking. This is what grace period we can say, grace days or grace period. That means uh, the creditor would be giving some extra 3 days to pay the amount of rupees 1 lakh. He would be giving some extra chance. So for this is applicable, I'm writing this one, applicable only to bills, only to bills we can say. Okay, let us now see. Then what is this bill and when is the bill drawn? Okay, I'm going to continue with the same example. What happens? X and Y are there. X is Y is due to X by rupees 1 lakh, right? And I said that there is a 3 months grace provided by X. Grace mean sorry, 3 months time is provided to Y for paying rupees 1 lakh. Then what happens here? X asks Y X asks Y to X asks Y to give a bill. X asks Y to give a bill which consists of the things that Y is due to X by rupees 1 lakh, and 3 months time he is given, and also he would be signing the form. This form is what we can call as bill. Bill is nothing but like an invoice, we can say, right? And why he would be asking in order to uh, have a protection, right? If Y is unable to pay, if Y is unable to pay, then X can sue Y in court of law. If Y is not paying the amount, then X can show the amount for amount due on Y in court of law for the amount due. But in order to this is what the thing for bill. That means what we can say, with a bill, X and Y are having some relation, right? Then when X and Y are there and X is receiving the bill, when X receives the bill from Y, when X receives the bill from Y, then X for that X would be for that bill, for X that bill would be bills receivable, we can say. Okay, bills receivable for X, and this bill would be, as Y is paying that bill to X, that would be bills payable. So whenever Y is giving the bill to X, that bill would be called as bills receivable. As it is bill payable to X, that is called as bills payable to Y. So, and here in this bills of exchange, there are three parties that are drawer, drawee, and third one is payee. Let me say. So here drawer is what we can say, the person who receives the bill. The person who receives the bill or holder of bill in due course. Okay, drawer is the person who is receiving the bill, and he is also called as holder of the bill in due course. What is this due course? I have said 3 months, right? In these 3 months, the bill would be with X only. That is what due course. Due course, that means the course in which the amount is due. Course is nothing but time here, what we can say, not the course which we can learn. And draw is the person who accepts the bill. Drawer is the person, we can say, who draws the bill of exchange. Draw person is the person who accepts the bill is called as drawee. Okay, and he is what payable. Payee is the person who finally receives the amount. This is what three parties. These are the three parties which would be there in these bills of exchange, right? Now let us see the transactions. That means in what cases, what are the types of these bills of exchange, and how we can incorporate the business, right? Let us see. I said there are four things. There are four different ways. There are four different ways for this bill. Who is the holder of the bill? We can say X is the holder. Why X is the holder? So drawer would be X and drawee would be Y. And we cannot decide who is the payee. We don't know who is the payee here. So there are four different ways. I'm drawing some arrows for those four different ways. Let us see. And in the first case, bill is retained with X. Okay, we shall write that drawee first, and in bracket we can say X, right? Bill is retained with drawer. This is drawer, not drawee. Let me write it clearly. Okay, this is what bill is retained with drawer. And the second case would be bill sent for collection to bank. This is the second case. That means what? In the first case, the bill is kept with the X only, and in second case, the bill is sent for the bank to collection. That means what? If X is not having time to collect amount from Y, if X is not having time to collect amount from Y, then bill would be sent to bank for collection of that amount. And in the third case, we can say what? Bill endorsed to creditor of drawer. Let us say that creditor of drawer is Z. That means what? That means what if the let us suppose there are here we are having three parties X, Y, and Z. These are the three parties. Okay, what happened? We know that X has sold the goods to Y, right? That means what? Y made purchase from X, and previously this is purchases made on credit, right? That is why the relationship between X and Y is debtor and creditor. Don't think about the drawer and drawee now, right? And previously what happens? X has purchased the goods from Z on credit. So let us suppose X purchased Y, X sold the goods to Y for rupees 1 lakh. Let us say, and Z sold the goods to X for rupees 1,20,000. Let us suppose, right? Then what happens here? Then, as Y is payable to X, let me write it more clearly. Here I am writing. Let us suppose there are three parties X, Y, and Z. Let us suppose. Let us suppose these are the three transactions. They are the three parties X, Y, and Z. Right? X sold. That means what? Y purchased from X. Y purchased from X. And what happens? Z purchased from Y. So let us suppose Y purchased from X for rupees 1 lakh and Z sold to X for rupees 1 lakh. That means what? X made purchase. Let me write it clearly. X, let us write the thing purchase only, right? Let us see. Y purchased from X for rupees 1 lakh. X purchased from Z for rupees 1 lakh, right? Implies what? We can say Y is liable to X by rupees 1 lakh, we can say, right? Let me say this is 1,20,000 here. Okay, let us suppose this is 1,20,000 X purchased from Z rupees 1,20,000. Implies what we can say, X is liable to Z by rupees 1,20,000. Right? This is what we can say from this transaction. What happens is, if X has already drawn the bill on Y for rupees 1 lakh, and then what, and X is liable to pay to Z, then what X would be doing is, X would be endorsing or sending, we can say, or X would be sending the bill of exchange of Y which is drawn on Y to Z. X endorses the bill to Z for this rupees 1 lakh, sending the bill of rupees 1 lakh, and the remaining he would be paying like cash, 20,000 he would be paying like cash, and this would be endorsed bill, and we can see this one in later, right? This is what small information about this endorser situation. Bill endorsed to the creditor of drawer is the bill which has been drawn by X on Y would be sent to Z by X, because X is liable to Z and Y is liable to X. Then finally what we can say, this 1 lakh rupees is payable by Y to Z, as there is no relationship between Y and Z. Still to Y should pay to Z, and Y will be informed by X that he has sent this bill to Z, and the amount to do which is payable to X shall be paid to Z. This is what we can see here. We can discuss in detail about these transactions, and the last case, which is fourth one, which is bill discounted with bank. Okay, bill discounted with bank, we can say. So what is this bill discounted with the bank? So as if X is in need of money, X is in need of money, and Y is not in a situation to pay money. X is in need of money, and Y is not in a situation to pay money of rupees 1 lakh, let us suppose. Then what, X is, as X is holder of bill of rupees 1 lakh, he would be going to bank and immediately encashing it. Okay, as it is encashed with the bank, there may be some bank charges, right? After deducting the bank charges, the remaining amount would be credited to X. Okay, that means a total of 1 lakh is not sent to him. This discounted is nothing but some bank charges would be deducted, and the remaining would be sent to the X. Let us suppose 1 lakh rupees is there, and if it is discounted at 10% rate, okay, let us suppose 5% only. Okay, let us suppose the discount rate is 5%. Then what we can say, bank amount would be received what amount, and discount which is charged, what we can say, 5% is the discount charge, bank charges, is that right? What we can say, 5,000 is the bank charges. We can multiply with 5%, and the remaining 95,000 is sent to bank, and the remain, and as X has received the amount, X receives the amount, as X receives the amount, then Y is liable to pay to bank only. So Y is liable to pay amount to bank only, because now the bill is holding by bank. Okay, this is what the four transactions we can say. I'm going to explain you again. First transaction is bill retained with X. That means what? Up to the due course. In bracket I am writing 3 months. Okay. Up to the due course. Okay. Up to the due course, X would be holding the amount, holding the bill. Okay. And after due date, X may receive the amount. X may or may not receive the amount, right? Because that 1 lakh arrangement might be done or might not be done. We cannot decide that one. First, let us discuss about these cases, and we can go into detail about the other things. And the second one, what we can say, bill sent to bank for collection. That means what? X sends the bill to bank for collection of the amount. Through the names only we can decide what would be the transaction, and through the names only we can decide the journal entries also. That would be, journal entries would be easy if we understand these situations. If we have assumption, that means if we imagine the things virtually, that means if imagination is possible, then the transactions, that is journal entries, writing the journal entry is a simple task, we can say. Okay. And this bill consent for collection to bank. And the third condition, which is that situation, not condition, bill endorsed to Z, creditor of X. Bill endorsed to Z, who is creditor of X. That means what? X, this if we have this situation, then we should imagine the diagram. That means the image what we have drawn here. So Y is payable to X, X is payable to Z, then Y is payable to Z. Okay, this is what the endorsed situation. And the fourth one is bill discounted with bank. Then bank charges would be deducted. Bank charges deducted by bank, and the remaining amount credited to X account, right? The account which he is holding, and the amount would be credited. The remaining amount would be credited. This bank charges would be deducted. Let us suppose from 1 lakh rupees, 5,000 is bank charges, remaining 95,000 is credited to X account, and these bank charges are taken by bank. So this is the situation what would be occurring here. Let us now see. Okay. Now let us come to know. Sorry, sorry for the disturbance. Right. Now let us come to know. But before going to discuss these bills of exchange, what we can say, the first transaction what would be taking place? Let us assume. See, X sold the goods to Y, right? X sold the goods to Y, and in these bills of exchange, we are going to write the entries in the books of drawer and also drawee. So we need to understand both point of views. We should act as a drawer if he asks that we should write in the books of drawer, and we should act as a drawer if we have if the question is with draw, right? Then what happens here? As X sells the goods to Y, then in the books of X, what would be writing the entry? Y account debit or Y account debtor to sales, right? And we have assumed that amount of rupees is 1 lakh. So we can write Y account debtor to sales 1 lakh rupees. So what would be written entry in the books of Y? As Y purchased goods they are purchasing, and the goods have been sold. So narration what we can write here being goods sold on credit, we can write, right? And Y is purchasing the goods, right? He can write the entry purchases account debtor to X account by rupees 1 lakh. So being narration would be being goods purchased on credit, right? Then what? After this situation, I have said that X would be receiving the bill from Y. X would be receiving the bill from Y, right? For which entry would be as bill is receiving by him, what we can say bills receivable. I said that is what bills receivable debit what comes in bills receivable account debtor or debit to what Y account. With this transaction what is happening we can see. Let us see. So this is what 1 lakh rupees as X would be receiving the bill from Y, debit what comes in bill is coming in, so that would be what this bill is called as current asset, we can say. This bill acts as a current asset, and previously Y is like a debtor, right? Y is like a debtor, and due to this bill Y is removed from the books of debtor, and in place of that debtor a bills receivable is there. Okay, this is what the this is how accounting is magic, what we can say. Very if we understand in a better manner that would be easy, right? Being what we can say being bill drawn on Y. Okay, then what is this thing? As Y is going to pay the bill to X, that would be bills payable, that is bill is going out to bills payable account, what we can say, right? And to whom it is payable? X account. X account debtor to bills payable account, what we can have here. So for rupees 1 lakh, so X account data to bills payable, as X would be shown as creditor previously. Now X is removed from the books of creditors, and in the replacement of X, this bills payable is acting. So bills payable is current liability. If it is still there, this would be shown as current liability in balance sheet, what we can have. Okay friends. So for which narration would be what? Being bill accepted for amount due, we can write. Narration is nothing here. Narration we can write anything. For the amount due, what we can write? Being bill accepted. But this is what compulsory. The narration is compulsory. If in question, if narration is not required is there, then there is no requirement of general narrations also. Okay. So these are the main transactions which X and Y would be recording here. So X is what here? X is a drawer and Y is drawee. This is what the this is that's it for this video, friends. Let me discuss with you in detail about the bills of exchange in next video. And in next video, we are going to discuss all these transactions in detail. Okay, but we are going to come in an order of 1, 4, 3, 2. That means what? Firstly, bill is returned with X and discounted with the bank. Third one is endorsed, and fourth one is collection from bank. In this order, we are going to discuss, and let us discuss about these journal entries in next video. Thank you for this. Thank you for watching, friends. If you like my videos, please subscribe my channel and also share. Thank you for watching. Bye. Best of luck.